It's the second part of November. You know what time it is? You don't. You know, but
Depression.
Depression. It begins.
We're
sad.
getting into winter depression.
Yes, it's already started. It's been cold and I didn't want to get out of bed at all.
Same.
It's mostly just because it's a Mormon toasty in my bed.
All that rain came and brought that cold, and I was like, "You're expecting me to get out of bed today?"
Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. This is what I was waiting for. Woo! Welcome to Metal Waifu.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Nick. And it's our top 3 of the year metal episodes. If you didn't watch the anime one, we have to explain to you what's going on with all this. It's our 1-year anniversary for the podcast.
Happy birthday.
Every Monday. Yeah, we're not praying about that bit. But
I'm still going to say happy birthday
Happy
because
birthday.
it's just fun.
Happy birthday. It's our 1 year as our crazy, stupid, let's make a podcast idea for the pandemic somehow has panned out for us doing this a whole year.
Fucking wild.
Woo!
He's been freeloading off of me for a whole year. Not going to let that joke die.
Stop attacking me.
I feel attacked. I'm feeling very attacked.
My imposter syndrome is triggering.
That's me every day.
It's fucked up because, yeah, it's like...
It's true.
like
It's true. It's R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Bury me.
Bury me, daddy. But, oh, God. We have chosen the top 3 from each of our listening, we've chosen the top 3 albums / LPs / EPs.
Singles. I got singles in my honorable mention.
She's got, yeah.
Because I got to wait on shit to come.
She got singles coming.
I wish.
Yeah. Because we had discussed this as we were making our list and everything like that. I was like, hey, are we counting EPs and all that kind of stuff, whatever? She's like, yeah, and whatever.
I got fucking singles.
Yeah, whatever.
I got one band that released 4 singles this year.
No, but so for those of you who are like, go like, oh, those are really like your top albums because you're not listening. EPs don't really count. Eat my whole asshole.
And if you call me out for the shit that I have on my top
I'll
3,
call her out. That's my job.
fair.
I'm the elitist piece of shit here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a shit about all your opinions.
Yeah. although thank you for all you guys for watching our Wallflowers episode. Leaving your nice, constructive, interesting, informative comments on the lyrical context of some of them. I had some guy actually mentioned about oh god, what was the one song from that album? Apparently it was about an interview they did that got fucking blown up. I think it was about the news broadcast one. It was a whole wall of text, but it was informative.
Oh wow! Well, I am. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. One guy's comment was "meh album."
I know, I saw that.
It was funny because it was like it's clearly a Russian name.
Oh, Disclosure is about an interview that they did with a host of a Ukrainian television show.
Yeah.
There's also this one in the Wallflower video. Tatiana's trying to get some alone time while procrastinating about writing lyrics to the music. Oh.
Yeah, basically. That's cool. It was cool. There were some interesting details you guys posted about it, and we appreciate the interaction, and we appreciate the viewership.
Ginger with J. What the fuck does that mean?
Please Ginger with J.
Nice review, an absolutely great album. One thing, more than bracket. Please Ginger with J. Lovely greetings from Germany, and please stay safe. I think it's just a weird mistranslation into English
gotcha.
there.
From Germany.
Yeah, we got a Germany comment.
Oh wow. Not her.
I mean, to be fair, it's a Ukrainian band we talked about.
Well,
so.
that's true. I'm a fourth of German, and I love me some German food, some kraut, some good old bratwurst. We have some good in Florida. We have some decent. Man,
God, sorry.
Blowing out our speakers. Jeez. We have some good. We have some good German restaurants over here. Mr. Dunderbox. Some good fucking beer and some good fucking sauerkraut. Some good fucking Jägerschnitzel. Jägerschnitzel is insane. But
Oh my god, there's even more to this?
yeah,
Jesus, okay.
yeah, we had some people, we had some interaction.
I know, I'm
It's wild. And I was like, we also like, we also.
Shit, now I'm like, we need to research more when we do these.
I know, right? Well, it was wild. It was still like, it was. I like that because like we're still kind of coming in what we wanted, like how we're coming into our albums and how we're approaching. Because we're mostly just approaching it from like just the listening experience, not trying to go fully in on it. And it's nice that we get some interaction from you guys, being like, "Hey, let's talk about this and talk about the album." That's awesome. That's appreciated, and it validates us a little bit for me at least. For one, we hit a total of 1,000 views on YouTube, which was nice.
Woo!
And we also, doing this for a year and everything like that, sometimes when we release a video or two, I'm just like, all right, some people watch it, or whatever. Some people watch it, whatever. And then we get episodes like the Lorna Shore has some decent viewership, and then or like the Gazette episode or the Wallflower episode. Like we're hitting the algorithm, man. We're understanding what's going on, but
We're evolving.
We're evolving. It's nice. It's nice. It's good. It's good to feel like some semblance of traction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we reverse it. You start us off with
right.
your number trace.
You most likely already know my number one.
Yeah.
I called myself out.
We may or may not have drunkenly talked about it.
Yeah.
For Halloween, we did some Halloween partying. It was cool.
I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of this album name. Chevelle is my number 3. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's, oh God, Neuradius? Oh, fuck. I'm probably gonna I probably butchered the fuck out of it. But yeah. So that's my number 3.
That's your number 3.
Yeah, because okay, you know what?
Okay.
Y'all can sue me. I have always loved Chevelle.
Some
They're a
bops.
band that I want to see live so bad, and I have wanted to see live for years and years and years. And this new album, it's not the most special album. Okay, look, it's a Chevelle album. It sounds like Chevelle, and I am okay with that.
This is your Goblin Slayer.
Yes,
This is your Goblin Slayer. That's
yes,
fine. That's fine.
It's just a solid Chevelle album. It sounds great. Lyrically, let me actually pull up.
For those, if you didn't watch the anime episode or top 3, it's her Goblin Slayer because it's like, for me, I chose Goblin Slayer because it's kind of a guilty pleasure anime. So like for this, I feel like it's more like this is the personal kind of choice.
Yeah, yeah. Albums are like album what? This album has a couple just like filler songs in it too. That it's kind of they're doing that whole like storytelling as if you listen to it, song for song. So you get those little like intermission songs like what is it? Sleep the Deep, and Wormhole, which is spelt with 2 V's and a U.
The Vitch.
The Vivitch.
The Vivitch.
This is the Viverm hole.
The Viverm
The Viverm hole.
Yeah.
And I think those are the 2. I guess Test Enough is kind of a filler one, but not as much as the other 2 are. But yeah, it's got some. It is considered to be a more conceptual album. Again, there's some spoken word in it, which is a little more. There's more instrumental work. So it's not so much just like we gonna go to a Chevelle show and we gonna rock the hell out. This one's got a little more of a structure to it, and an idea. I haven't looked up enough in the backstory of the whole thing like I usually do. I'm so sorry. Don't sue me. I was struggling very much with this top 3. I'm not even gonna fucking lie.
Wow.
Because this beautiful thing called my job really sometimes deters me from listening to new music because I'm surrounded by music so much that I'm just like, I don't feel like it. There are days when I ride home in silence. Plentiful days where I just ride home in silence because I don't want to hear shit.
It's weird. I think for me, that's kind of like the way my brain functions for music for me is kind of like, obviously you're in the industry, so you work with it all the fucking time, whatever. And granted, yes, I work in a place where there's music all the fucking time, but whatever. But like for me, a lot of it, like I listen when I'm doing stuff, when I'm playing video games, or especially when I'm working out. Music for me is a way. Because running in silence sometimes, or like doing stuff.
Oh well, yeah, no. If I'm at the gym, I'm definitely listening. But
but like there's certain times where I'm just kind of like I need it's a stimulant. You know what I'm saying?
Ironically, that's actually, I think, kind of the problem too. Is I'm now finally getting back into consistently working out, where I used to consistently work out like crazy. I had a personal trainer and everything at one point. And that, I think, was when I got a lot of my music absorption, because like you kind of just absorb, and I would just let things play. So sometimes I wouldn't even realize that I listened to the same song like 3 times. And I'm just like, I want to listen to this new album. I'm just going to let it run. And then I'm at the gym for an hour and I'm like, how many times have I listened to this album?
Yeah.
But this particular album, I know there's they definitely talk about like distrust of leadership, or like losing your trust for leadership. There's some like loss themes in there. It's just kind of this like overall watching parts, like things in your life kind of degrade. Like everything's kind of negative in this. But then there's also just like being in space as well. So I think there's a little bit of some like parallels in things that are currently happening, which seems to be happening with a lot of these bands right now, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But that's kind of also where like rock and metal kind of comes from, is like addressing the shit that's going on around you and being like, fuck the system. Like
dystopian vibes and all that stuff. Actually kind of carries over.
Yeah, so it's definitely got some interesting themes, and I do want to do more like in-depth looks into it. And if anybody automatically has some shit, let me know, because again, I was struggling a little bit. Okay, my other two got way more detailed, but this third one, I was like, I gotta put a third album, and I wasn't clicking with a lot of things. There's plenty of really good things out there, and there was plenty of albums I was enjoying, but I was like, to really put in like a top 3, and I was like, you know what? I fucking love Chevelle at the end of the day, and I don't give a damn what anybody has to say. I know people love to shit on me. I also like Nickelback, so fuck you. Like, wow.
It be that way sometimes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So leave me alone.
Sometimes I want to watch. Sometimes I want to listen to some Lil B. All right, what do you want from me? Wonton soup. What do you want?
It's a 13-track album too, and it's pretty solid.
I didn't realize Chevelle came out with an album this year, to be honest with you.
I totally forgot about it, and then when I looked up a list of like what had come out, because there was a list that did like month by month.
Well, yeah.
Which, holy shit, so many albums have come out this year.
Well, yeah, but like in all honesty, a lot of the albums that came up on my radar didn't come out till.
This came out in March.
I gave myself a cutoff to like list consideration because. I basically said like end of October, like that last weekend, because everything didn't be coming out on Fridays or whatever. I took that out of consideration after that, because there was an album that came out on the 29th. It was Mastodon's fucking album that came out, and I'll get in that a little bit later. I'm not gonna go too deep in that, but that we talked about in my honorable mentions. But anything else you want to add to your Chevelle choice, or
not really? I know that one was going to be a shitty one. I was just like, fuck.
No, that's fine. No,
but
I
mean like my description about it and everything is just kind of like, fuck. I needed a third one. So
no, that's an exciting one. That's a good
yeah,
it's a good surprise. So when it came to my top 3, I this last month the past 2 months, there had been a shit ton of stuff that came on my radar that I was like, I really want to listen to a lot of this stuff before making the consideration. So in the reverse of her anime list, my inverse of the metal list is I have a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit that fucking came up. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of things I want to talk about. So my idea for my top 3 was 1, in genuine interest of it, and then 2, I felt it was a little thematical. In terms of what I put in my 3, 2, 1, and my third, I think, is the understanding of where metal has been, and I think it's an interesting choice because 1, it was one I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much as I did, and then 2, if it was competing with another album that I felt like could have a very strong spot in the third, and I felt like if I didn't give it this position, I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice, and especially after re-listening to it, I was like, man, this album does fucking kick dick in, and that is Cannibal Corpse's Violence Unimagined. It was, I re-listened to it. It was a very.
I actually considered that one too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, it was.
Did.
No, I thought about it and I was kind of like, you know what?
I should have done that as an honorable mention. Why didn't I do that? I don't know.
Well, I have my number 3. Yeah, no, I had to think about it because I was like, you know what? I'm giving it this spot because one, it fits in the idea of what I was thinking about my top 3, and two, it's just like it deserves. I think it deserves that respect of like, one, Cannibal Corpse has been doing it for so fucking long, and they came out with an album. They still were ripping, and they were ripping with like different ideas, even though they were taking it from like their thrash roots and everything like that. It was definitely a cool, interesting direction they went with, and obviously there's the themes of you know, pandemic going on and all their traditional stuff that Cannibal Corpse does. But the fact that like, because here's the thing, you know what else happened? Wasn't it like we listened to Hatebreed and then immediately followed it up with Cannibal Corpse, and we had like we had like the two prime examples of a band who sticks to their formula, but the problem is that like they're so into their formula that it's gone stale, and like there's nothing exciting about it, whereas a band manages to stick with their formula but does enough to change it, enough to vary it, and enough to excite you, enough to like musical ideas to engage you throughout the album and what they're trying to say. And I think that's why I kind of like appreciated that Cannibal Corpse album more, is because like we initially had it with that Hatebreed album and I was like, ugh, not feeling it. Yeah. And then we hit it with the Cannibal Corpse album, like this is it's the Mets, baby, it's the New York Mets.
Jesus Christ.
It's the Mets. The Mets. Go Mets. It is the way how a band who's been doing it for so fucking long stays relevant. It's the same kind of thing that happened with like Judas Priest album like a couple years ago, where it was like they do their thing and they've evolved and they've changed, and apparently they can still put out rippers of fucking albums out there and everything like that. And Cannibal Corpse just, that was the thing that kind of put me in the third spot. I was just impressed that they were able to keep it up, and like just re-listening to it again. I was playing Warhammer Vermintide 2 on my PC over the weekend with my buddies who played the LAN party. I just put that Cannibal Corpse album on. It's just like, fucking gotta kill these goddamn rats, man. Fucking gotta kill these goddamn rats. Fucking Dwarf Slayer. And it was like, oh yeah, no, this album's very fucking good. It rips. It's a shredder. It's a fucking diddly bop diddly bop. Like, it's fucking nutso gutso. Violence, great imagery, all that kind of shit. Is diddly diddly bop. You know, it's just a fucking, it's a new word. Dude, my entire weekend, I keep on saying, my group chats I'm part of, especially during that LAN party, I would just say just some like random shit or whatever. Like, I fucked with my buddy so many goddamn times because he had to explain him what.
You fucked him so many times?
I fucked with him so many times.
Okay. Just making sure.
It's gonna be funny because I don't think he listens to this, but I had to explain to him what glizzy meant.
Oh no!
He's like, "What the fuck's a glizzy?" I'm like, I explained it. He's like, "What's wrong with you kids?"
Jesus, what the fuck is wrong with you kids?
He's like my age, so I don't know. Like, it no longer because what the fuck's wrong with you kids your age. He's like, what the fuck's wrong with me? And I'm like, have you met me before? I kept on saying that. The amount of times I said "bussy" this entire week.
Oh my god! Of course you did. Why am I not surprised? This is Nick.
Cannibal. While I'm listening,
I'm just
at the top of my lungs as I'm fucking playing Vermintide 2, listening to Cannibal Corpse, Violence Unimagined. It was a good weekend. It was a great weekend. It fits in my sensibilities in terms of like how I like a lot of my music. But I think just in respect and in the presentation and how it evolved itself and how Cannibal Corpse still managed to do all that, I felt earned its spot at 3 because it propelled itself and it was able to give us an interesting. And they're coming doing a tour with fucking like Whitechapel and Revocation.
Yup.
Which means Revocation might be coming out with a new album, which I want to talk about that one. I love Revocation. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Get wrecked.
Nerd. All right.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that's my number 3. So your number 2.
My number 2 is an album that I have been so fucking hyped for, and let me tell you, this shit shook me in multiple ways because I was not at all expecting it. This fucking band I have adored since they came out initially, and it has been so long since their first album, their one and only album, and now we're on album number 2, and I know probably people are going to be like, it's not really metal, because they fall, I guess technically now, I guess they fall more in the new metal. Some people just don't want to acknowledge that genre, I don't know. But it is Dead, D-E-D, and it is their School of Thought album. So a thing that I have always adored about Dead is Dead has a lot to fucking say and a great way to say it. And I'm one of those pretentious fucks that I love a good album that's got some shit to say. Like and I'm totally down for just like songs you just want to like let loose to and be like, fuck this, fuck you, fuck all of it. But the thing with Dead is I do really enjoy that pretty much every song has a purpose. There are some that I think are, because let's be honest, off their first album, FMFY is one of my favorite fucking songs, and I just want to lose my shit to that song. And it stands for fuck me, fuck you. And the whole tagline of that song is fuck me and fuck you too. The world should start over new. Bring out the guillotine. Yeah. But, Jesus. What were the years between these albums? Because the big thing, okay, so 2017 is when Misanthropy came out, and now School of Thought came out in 2021. And an amazing thing about this, and the thing that a lot of people brought up, is you saw this band has evolved, like, completely. Their thinking has changed, their sound has changed, they're just evolving, and it's cool because they're still fresh. I mean, it's only their second album.
Poppin' fresh.
Now, this particular album, I think the title is absolutely perfect for it, School of Thought. The whole thing about it is just talking about shit that is going on. So you have Ghost, which is a hell of a way to open up an album. And then it goes into Kill Beautiful Things, which is pretty much all about, why do we kill everything that is great? The willful ignorance in society, just we can't have anything nice anymore. Like, everything is going to die. What is worth fighting for? Why are we here? Like, yada, yada, yada. And then it goes into Love Song, which has Maria Brink on it. If you don't know, there's also an In This Moment song that has, what's his name? The lead singer of Dead. Fuck, I forgot his name. Oh, God.
Bueller. Notes. Where are my notes?
Wait. Shit. God damn it. It's just in this moment.
Line.
Okay. We're almost there.
Almost.
Joe. How did I forget that? That's my ex-boyfriend's name. Maybe that's why I forgot.
I was gonna say, you're like, Joe, I mean.
But yes. And then... but yeah, just alone, like, overall, the two albums sound so damn different. I mean, Misanthropy is just, like, aggressively punching you in the face for every single song. It is so aggressive. It's so angry. It's so just, like, I don't give a shit about what's going on. I don't give a shit about you. Fuck all of you. Like, we're done. And this one clearly has a lot more thought, ironically, into it. It's very methodic. And you end up going into Eyes Sewn Shut and A Mannequin Idol, which, tagline, quit making stupid people famous.
Hey, more than 11.
Beautiful. Love that. Always appreciate getting to hear a song about that, because I am 100% on that boat. Then you go into Parasite, which is following our current epidemic state, and... I think that's the song that talks more about, like, the willful ignorance of society and things like that. Persona and My Blood, My Family, these are kind of when they're more about, like, the thing that's worth fighting for, which is the family you have around you. What else? There was something that somebody had said in a review, and I keep this review because I really liked what they said. Where is it? Where is it?
Where you be at? Who you be?
Oh shit, where the hell? A crushing earworm persona.
Crushing earworm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the one that a lot of people say is kind of like takes on this like talking heads and fake facades and then you get to 10 Minutes Underwater and Lost, which are definitely back on that kind of more aggressive run that they had in the first album. But yeah. Oh, yeah. And the thing that, yes, they also talked about in My Blood, My Family, you actually get to hear Joe's vocals in kind of a different light, which is really exciting too, because he's very much known for this very, like, of course, in the first album, it's very harsh, just like, it's not growling. It's this just like screaming aggression, and it's very raspy, but it's in a good way. I don't know how the hell he does it. I don't know how he sounds like that, but it sounds like he's just shredding his vocal cords all the time. But yeah, and yeah, Lost gets a little more heartfelt from what I remember. Oh, Jesus, hello. Oh, and there's Half Alive, which I don't know why I don't remember much of this song right now. I think like that kind of gets all into the more somber, like the whole ending, it just gets a little more somber of kind of just like accepting the reality of like what our world currently is, kind of. It's, yeah, there's just a lot of like, there's a lot of thought in there. And it presents ideas that I know some people may not be totally happy with hearing or, you know, agreeing with, but they're presenting it in a way that is not like, this is matter of fact, you should follow this. It is kind of more presenting it in a like, let me hit you with something to make you think.
Yeah, I mean, there's it's, as long as it's like towing, it's fine, riding the fine line between like challenging you in a way. Metal in general is kind of just like that, where it's like it challenges you either in with like mixed like metal and punk or whatever, like most rock music. Like good types challenge you either musically or like mentally or all that kind of stuff and everything along those lines. And as long as it's riding the fine line between getting its point across in an interesting manner and not being fucking preachy about it, that's generally your safe zone. Like that's generally like, as long as the your subject matter is being brought across in a way that is engaging and interesting, that's really what that's important about it. Even if it's an opinion you don't necessarily agree with, like I'm sure there's plenty of people that like listen to this, like people that listen to Rage Against the Machine. There's plenty of people that listen to that shit and they're just like, yeah, man, I love Rage Against the Machine. And you're like, they're like absolutely the opposite of what you believe in, right? And they're just like, yeah, but like,
it's a banger.
Yeah, it's a banger. Pocket full of shells. I don't fuck that about.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing I like about it, because I think we had a couple albums where it felt a little preachy, didn't we?
The Hatebreed album.
Yeah, the Hatebreed album.
Yeah. I'm still hanging on.
Yeah, so
hanging on.
Comparing it to something like that, I definitely listening to it on the way home. I did not feel like I was being preached at, because I would just get lost in like how fucking good it sounded.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing super like, oh my god, it's so like new and innovative, and there's nothing like super. It's awesome to hear and interesting to hear because it is so different from the first album, and I think that's kind of what's hooked me the most, and I know has hooked a lot of people. They're like, holy shit, like I saw a decent amount of hate in their comments when they released this album, because people were just like, what the fuck, because they were fully expecting that aggressive in your face just misanthropy, lose your shit, but they didn't get that, and a lot of people were not happy with that. But I don't know. Again, I think that I love seeing the beauty of bands, especially this early in their career. And, there were so many years between these two albums. I like seeing bands kind of evolve, and maybe they're just experimenting, and they can do that because they are still new. Sometimes it's harder to accept bands that have something so stable for like 5 albums and then they try to experiment and then it kind of falls. Where if you do it early, yeah, your fan base is probably going to fluctuate, but,
Yeah. Just ideas or whatever, at least like try and throw stuff out there and people are more open to it or whatever.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see how they perform this live, because They're gonna be at work.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh, that's
they're
right.
within this moment in Blackville Brides.
Yeah.
I'm hype as hell because they haven't toured since they released that first album.
Jesus.
God, man, I am so hype about it. I'm I'm excited. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And the music videos were very good for this album too. I very much enjoyed them. They've always had pretty decent albums. They got rid of their white contact phase. That was a big thing on the first album. Like I think all of the videos they had the white out contacts in. I don't know what that was, but they got rid of that, and I was like, okay,
It hurts my eyes.
it's just weird. I don't know. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you know,
Fascinating.
it's your first album. You're trying shit out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like Mudvayne's first album. Their first album was the only time where they did that whole like fucking crazy ass makeup shit or whatever,
Yep.
and then ever
Like,
since like
It's too much time.
too much time. It's only just been like if anybody does any weird makeup stuff, it's only just the lead singer.
Yeah.
Or all the other guys are like, hey, we're over that shit. Homeboy with the fucking red ass spikes, like, Jesus Christ. Oh, the early 2000s were wild.
Yeah, Jesus.
God Almighty. Asinine.
All right.
My number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
All right,
A
so
long tangent.
continuing with the theme of the phase of what I was going for my top 3. My number 2 is basically the current state of metal. Mm-hmm. I think the current state of metal is right now going through this like re-understanding and appreciation of like it's okay. New metal had some good moments.
It's okay.
Alternative metal had some decent moments, like with your Limp Bizkits and your fucking Cold Chambers. You had like
Oh
your
my God.
Linkin Parks and your Deftones and your Seven Dust and all that kind of stuff. Like you had like a good amount of like bands actually were like evolving the sound and making it interesting. I think one of the bands that this current time period has started taking some of that and making it interesting. One of those bands being Code Orange, but they're out there released last year. And I think technically this came out in 2020. And technically it would be in kind of our time period or whatever, so I'm counting it because fuck you. Was Bring Me the Horizon's survival horror as my number 2.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that one.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I think this album was... So here's the
I mean,
reason...
it's a good album. I'm just saying I didn't expect it to be in your top.
Oh, yeah, no. So the reason why... So being of my age and my time period or whatever, knowing Bring Me the Horizon... You know, Suicide Season, all that kind of shit, where they're known for that going from the screamo metalcore stuff, shifting over into a more poppier sound, but still trying to have some heaviness and trying to find.
I'm not gonna scream anymore.
Yeah,
That phase.
That was a fucking lie. When they were trying to teeter on that stuff, and then them finally hitting a pop moment where they finally had an album where it was like this interesting combination with Amo, and I was like, okay, maybe they have something going, and then going to survival horror and nailing that catchy but still retaining heaviness and still having like an edge to it, but like you still being able to bop to it, and then still having some heavy ass shit with fucking baby metal in it as your guest stars on it.
It's so good.
It's fucking wild, man.
So good.
It's fucking insane. That was the thing about this album was just that like it was so out of left field. A lot of people were just like, "Oh, hey, there's a new Bring Me the Horizon album." You know, their last one was kind of interesting, but I don't know. And then it was just like, oh, your Mick Gordon produced album actually has some fucking bops in it and all that shit. It has some heavy stuff going all the way from like the start of the album to like songs like Kingslayer, like with fucking Baby Metal, still one of my favorite songs in that thing. It's like just has like a crazy hook, but it's still heavy and it grooves. You go to songs to like Parasite Eve is like a good electro Eve. Where fucking they have like this interesting like electronic stuff going on to it. It has some cool like moments, like build up and all that kind of shit. Teardrops being a fun like that if anything is resembling the new metal like alt idea. This sounds like a fucking Linkin Park song is Teardrops 100%. Obey. Even though I'm not a big like Youngblood guy, like he didn't at no point did I feel like he was like intruding on the song itself. It still hits. It's still like fun. Like it's still like it has like a good edge to it or whatever. It isn't necessarily an album that it isn't necessarily in my wheelhouse currently of what stuff I like to listen to in terms of metal, but there was enough. There's I just can't deny that it's a fucking catchy ass album, man.
It is.
Like I
It's
can't just
very
deny
catchy.
like and
I still have it in my playlist.
yeah, the lyrical context, there's the Parasite Eve's obviously about pandemic and all that stuff, but like it just has like a cool like the way it's presented and the way it's shown is so interesting or whatever, and it's a lot of like generalized themes of all that kind of your traditional new metal alt metal stuff, but when it's done in a fun, exciting, heavy manner, like we were talking about the last time we were talking about, I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. Ollie sounded great throughout the whole fucking thing. The instrumentation was really cool. Like even though I know like the band themselves isn't necessarily like the like virtuosos and all that shit, they really like upped themselves in terms of their musicianship. The production, it was so smart to like get a guy who understands how to like really mix that current heavy metal sound with like Mick Gordon and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like if I were to put a fucking video game albums on this list, like fucking like maybe at least as like a fucking like honorable mention, Doom Eternal soundtrack would fucking go on here. Like absolutely.
It's true. That's a really good album.
It's a really it's a really good soundtrack. Like it's fucking it made everything that they put into this album. You definitely tell they put in the effort and the want to just make something good and make a really solid album. I think the only like part of the album that I was kind of like whatever on was the last song, but I was just like it was I knew you liked it because it's the Amy Lee song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little slower, it's a little melodrama-y or whatever, but like everything else was fucking like just a fucking rip roar and like stage anthem fucking craziness. I would love to see them live and when they perform this and everything like that, like anything off of it, like I think it would be
really
insane
good
to see. Fuck yeah, the Kingslayer song just always gets me. Get the fuck. I'm like, yeah, hell fun shit, yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna go in the pit. Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking sling some arms and all that shit. And then fucking Baby Metal shows up and starts speaking Japanese or whatever. Like, hey, this is great. It's a good time. But yeah, it just because of the surprise of it, just because of the way it caught a bunch of people off guard, caught me off guard, and like it really just like I can re-listen to that album and just find like good cuts off of it and just really enjoy it for as a whole experience was like what really kind of was like I'm keeping it in my second because I think there's still some albums I think could have competed for it and everything along those lines, but when I just rethink about it, and when I remember that first time listening to it and then going back and re-listening to it, I was like, yeah, man, it really like it was a good fit. I felt like if there's a album that I felt like deserved that second place spot that like really caught me, engaged me for albums I listened to this year, it goes there. So
it was School of Thought.
It was
engaged the fuck out of me.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just. It's like there you go. You get that spot. Congratulations, Bring Me the Horizon. You managed to go from like edgy screamo kids to like having a very respectable, well done, fucking top of many people's list album. Fucking nobody was expecting
that. The fact that they made it all the way up into like mainstream is fucking crazy still.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like they did the proper like. Because we gotta think about like that time here, like metalcore and all that shit and everything along those lines, like.
Well, but I'm just saying, like somebody making it out of that, and then shooting up into the popularity, the level of popularity that they have now is pretty fucking crazy. Because not many bands have done that.
No,
like barely
and retained and not only even retain like their credibility, but they've gained credibility from this fucking album. Because like a lot of people shit on them because they're like, oh, you just fucking screamo. Fucking scene kids fucking here or whatever. I'm like, yeah, of course they were like that at some point. We're all like that at some point or whatever. And now they're just like, hey, but they released one of the heaviest albums of the year, and you can't deny me as a fucking hardcore like fucking long haired like, yeah, bro, fucking I only listen to Death on repeat. And like fucking, you can't deny that some of these songs bop.
Well, and even for me, like I had stopped listening to Bring Me the Horizon because they were just going in a direction that I was kind of like, eh.
Yeah, they were.
And then we decided to explore this album, and I'm like,
Yeah,
well, shit, you
100%.
have me again.
Yeah. Oh wow. You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Yep, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And then and like I mentioned with Amo and everything like that, like Amo was a decent album. It wasn't like there was still some parts here that were like, whatever, it's fine. But then like seeing that transition and understanding that was the progression they were going towards and just hitting it out of the park, I was like, perfect. Now, granted, I don't know if they're going to continue with that momentum. We don't know how their next album's going to go or everything like that. I hope they do. I hope they really do have like they can follow that album up with something that's just as poppy or as like that heavy, like clean mix and all that shit. Like I would be interested to see where to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just put them at number 2. You're not number 1. You're not number one. You're not number 1. Before we get to our number 1s, do you want to talk about your honorable mentions?
Yeah, I have 2, which are both sets of singles because I'm waiting on a fucking album. And I don't really know when said album will be coming. So, this is pretty fucking crazy, and it still concerns me just because of how also 2020 went for this band. I don't really know what the fuck is going on. This has pretty much been their entire life for, wasn't it? Because they didn't release, wait, what the fuck albums? There you are. They've only been releasing EPs. So since Ex Machina came out, Crossfaith coming in at number 2 on my honorable mentions. I don't know what the hell's been going on there. They released 2 EPs in 2020. It was Species and Kids Still Want a New Acid, which was just a bunch of fucking remixes. Great. Love that. I hate when that happens.
Great, thanks.
And then there was also another remix. There was Overconfidence that came out in 2020. But here in 2021, we don't have fucking remixes so far, thank God. At least I don't think so. Yeah, that's not a remix. Okay, good. So we have Dead or Alive and Red Zone, which then they released those 2 songs together. And then Slave of Chaos and Feel Alive. Wow.
Wow.
This is the stuff that I have been waiting for because I really... It's been a bit since I've listened to Ex Machina, like, front to back. I gotta look at this list of songs again just to remind myself. Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a
I loved Xeno. I remember that album was my shit. I've always loved Crossfaith. I love how damn heavy they are, and then they bring in these high-pitched synths all the time, and it's a great combo. They do it very, very well. They're phenomenal live. They're phenomenal crowd draw. Like, everybody wants to be a part of that song. Like, everybody's jumping, everybody's screaming when they're supposed to. You know, you've got, like, your chant yells and things like that. And I missed that, and I've been missing these boys. I don't know what's really been going on with them because clearly I am a terrible fan and haven't been keeping up with what they're personally doing here.
Fucking trash.
But these songs, Slave of Chaos, Red Zone is so good. Red Zone and Dead or Alive are really, really good. Red Zone, very good. Slave of Chaos, very good. Feel Alive, I don't remember a lot about this single. I think I only listened to it like once. Because I was just really hooked on those 3 first songs. I was just like, give me. And it's very interesting because the album artwork for these are very interesting. Like, this is Red Zone, Dead or Alive. This is the album cover that they put for it. And then this is Slave of Chaos. Oh, shit, what the hell happened? Hello? What the fuck? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to work my phone, sorry.
What the fuck?
This is Slave of Chaos, which is just chaos, so, you know, makes sense. And then Feel Alive is a man holding their logo. So, yeah, I feel like there's some sort of storytelling here that I probably haven't looked deep enough into, just because, Dead or Alive, Red Zone into like Slave of Chaos, and then Feel Alive at the end after all said chaos. Yeah, I'm really hoping that this means that something is where it's November. Never mind, I'm not getting an album. I don't know why the fuck I even think I am. But at least hopefully that means that we're going to get an album next year. Yeah, so. But great.
Great.
It's great. I mean, it's Crossfaith's music. It doesn't stray away from what they're kind of known for doing. It's heavy and in your face. Ken isn't really doing... He's not doing much just, traditional singing like he did, and I know that happened in Xeno. I think Ex Machina, there might have been one or two songs, but I could be completely wrong. Because for a longest time, he was not known for just actually just singing. He was always just growling and screaming.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're kind of back at that road, and I'm hoping that means for good things. I don't know.
Yeah.
My second honorable mention
Second.
is one of my favorite fucking bands. Oh, my God. I'm going to force you to review this album whenever the fuck it comes out.
Sure.
Swallow the Sun. I love this band. I love how many foreign bands I have on this list. I just realized.
Yeah, you're on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on that end of the world of metal. So they actually released 2, and I think this one just recently got released, because I don't know if I've actually listened to this one yet. So they released Woven into Sorrow and Enemy. Stunning album artwork. Swallow the Sun's album artwork is always really pretty. It's, they always have a lot of concept and a lot of storytelling in their songs.
What genre are they?
They are, what is it called? What is it called? That was stupid. It's Finnish death metal. Doom metal.
Oh, they're doom metal? Oh,
yeah.
fuck. All right. Well,
I got introduced to them when I went to the Children of Bodom show. Because they were touring with them. So all 3 of those bands were all from Finland, I believe.
Finland, okay.
And they're all doom metal bands. But the thing that I really like about Swallow the Sun comparatively to Children of Bodom is they are a lot more melodic in that way. They do, I've seen people still classify them as just doom metal, but these new singles, which I found really, really interesting, that of course they've always had the melodic tone, they actually released classical versions at the same time that they released these singles. So each single comes with a classical version, and it's absolutely incredible. It's with Trio Nox, or it's Nox. There's a space between each letter. It's just cool.
Okay. So cool, man.
I am such a sucker for like melodic metal of any kind. I really am. Just suck me in and take my soul. I will die. Just bury me in a hole. I don't know. Yeah. They've always had great storytelling. Guitars are always gnarly as hell. Is there a bass player in this band? Or is it just 2 guitar players? Why can I not remember? I don't think there's a bass player. I think it's 2 guitar players. But yeah, and these decisions to make these classical versions, Enemy, if I remember correctly, gave me very much like Edgar Allan Poe vibes. Is super goth and just like they're just so good. They're so good. So I'm really hoping for a new album coming up.
I wouldn't mind. They sound interesting.
Yeah, they're
Definitely seem like they tickle my pickle.
And things are always very sad.
Yeah, judging by the artwork, it was very
dark and
emotional.
sad.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I asked, because initially they looked like black metal, so I was wondering if we're getting some black metal shit. Finnish doom metal. So my honorable mentions, I don't have them in any particular order. I just kind of have them all around and about, everything like that. Yeah. So, so the two honorable mentions is albums we did cover, or an album and an EP. The Wallflowers I put in honorable mentions. I do think that was engaging and interesting enough an album to like put it on there.
I considered doing that. I don't know. I guess I was just straying away from like maybe I just shouldn't talk about any of the ones we've already talked about.
Yeah, but I mean, like at least like understand like, those albums I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Lorna Shore, I Return to Nothingness.
That's so good.
It's good, but I didn't necessarily. I didn't want to put them in the top 3 because I didn't feel like there was enough material to push it to like maybe like even consider it. And it's also an EP, Fair. But I also feel like it's part of a bigger thing. I feel like it's an EP that's going to be part of an album.
Fucking bangers.
So it felt like a supplemental thing. Like here's the idea we're going for, and then when we release an album, it's gonna be part of that. Yeah. So that's how I kind of felt about that. But I put them on there because again, it was still very fucking good.
That's so good. All of these I should have put in my honorable mentions, but I wasn't going to make a whole fucking list.
No, that's fine. But I put Between the Buried and Me's Colors 2 on here. I love Between the Buried and Me. I don't know why they made a Colors 2. They didn't really need to.
Didn't really need
no, it's like Unforgiven 2. But it had some decent songs on it and everything like that. But as a cohesive piece, it was like...
I've never been a real big Between the Buried and Me fan.
Oh, Colors and Great Misdirect in Alaska are like the holy trinity of fucking... that shit, bro. That band. I love that shit.
I mean, I don't have really anything against them. I just never gravitated towards
fucking
them.
Prequel to the Sequel has a fucking accordion section in it.
Didn't know that.
Fucking dude, it's just wild. I introduced my buddy to that band. And he's like, is that a fucking accordion? I'm like, fuck yeah, it's about to get to a she shanty, my guy. A she shanty. Dude, I love Between the Buried and Me. And I put it on there because like I was just excited for them to put an album. But it was cool. It was interesting. But it was enough of an honorable mention to be like, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Another one that kind of fits in that category where like it had some really good fucking rippers on it, but then there was... Every Time I Die's Radical came out. By the way, a lot of this fucking shit came out within like the past 2 months, right? And so like I'm trying to listen to shit, and like as it's coming out, I'm like, all right, I fucking listen to shit. Like, gotta go. Not refreshing myself, but I'm like, well, let me listen to this album. And Radical came out the week before Mastodon's album came out. I'm like, I'm not putting Mastodon in consideration for this thing at all because it's cutting it really fucking close. And then also, I haven't been hearing the best things about the fucking album, so I'm gonna give it a second. Mastodon, I love you. If it's not good, I don't want even put it in my mind right now. Don't do it. But Every Time I Die was like right on that cusp, right? It was right on that cusp of albums I was gonna put on the list, and I listened to it. Again, it's Every Time I Die. They have some fucking rippers. They really know how to make some. They really know how to write like very catchy, like good hit songs, like shit that makes you go down wild. But their albums, like there's like 16 fucking songs on this thing, and like the longest song is like 5 minutes. Like everything else is like 2 to 3 minutes or whatever. But it suffered for me from the Hardwired to Self-Destruct issue, which was cut a few songs, man. There was one too many songs that were just like weird and slow and like I wasn't feeling it. But between that, there was like some just billy bally boolly bop shit, like willy 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 woos, and some fucking zip zap doobity dops. It was great.
Whoever watches this is like, this is really how he chooses to explain this.
Bangers, bops, whatever adjectives I'm gonna fucking use. There were some decent songs on this thing, but it wasn't enough to. It was a little inconsistent for my blood. But I made enough of an honorable mention because I did enjoy a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
The album that almost got third, and I mentioned to you this before, was Trivium's In the Court of the Dragon.
I did listen to a little bit of that.
So I was like, yo, this is like some really good like Shogun throwback shit. Because it was fucking heavy as fuck. Yeah. And initially I was having, oh god, what was it, Feast of the Flame or Feast of Fire or whatever it's called. I almost like, because Listen in the Court of the Dragon was their lead single off of it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is listening through the album because it has that introduction part and then goes straight into it. No. It's like, it was heavy. I was like, this is awesome. And then like Feast of Fire came out or whatever. I think it's that. Came out and I was like, I don't know, it's okay, it's fine. But then when I listened to the album, I'm like, oh, as a cohesive piece, it's a heavy album, very Shogun like, like they're getting away from that world so cold kind of stuff, like kind of like Sin the Sentence, kind of like was going back to more heavier stuff, and then this was kind of like, hey, we're back in it, we're shredding it up.
Yeah.
And I'd love to give Matthew Heafy a fucking one of the spots here because he's fucking literally down I-4 and all that stuff, and I watch his Twitch streams and all that shit. I think he's an awesome dude and all that shit. I follow him all over the place, but I was like, let me reconsider Cannibal Corpse Violence Unimagined real quick because I feel like it might have gotten that spot for third, and so it was a toss up between those two, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it to the Cannibal Corpse because I think in my heart of hearts, in my personal viewings, I felt like it earned that spot from being exciting, being the fact that they were still able to pull that shit off at the age they're at, and being as heavy as it was and as a general enjoyment. So they got basically Trivium and the Quarter Dragon got fourth. But it was close. It was close. I still enjoyed it. And my last honorable mention, and I wanted to do this for a long time and I was about to forget about it. Yo, Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack, why do you hit so hard? Why you got some fucking bangers, bro? It is fucking for the love of the game. Like that shit's God. For a fighting game soundtrack,
I don't know the soundtrack.
Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack? You haven't listened to it? Oh my fucking God, girl. Do yourself a favor. J-Rock metal adjacent. It's so fucking good. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Just listen to it. It's good. It's good shit. It's good shit. It's good shit. Let's get this shit.
I'll take your word for it.
Get the top of the morning.
More of the topping to you.
More than the topping. All right. From there, we go to Alexa's number one. We may have already discussed our number ones previously, as we were drunkenly talking about it a little bit. And she's like, "You want to guess my number one is?" And I guessed it
immediately.
I guessed it immediately.
Like without fault, without pause, immediately.
I just fucking like a straight down the middle of the dartboard. I was like, phew.
I put on Instagram that I want to be buried to this album, so and I know there are fans in this community that are going to fucking roast me because this album actually got a lot of criticism for a multitude of different reasons, but I don't give a fuck. I love this album to death, and it is the Gazette Mass. Fuck. I love this album. And a thing that I love about this album, the Gazette is known for reimagining themselves damn near every album. They're always trying out new things. They're always trying out a new look, a new theme, a new sound, a new everything. Like, they just completely will reinvent the wheel every time, which I thought that was awesome, and that was a thing that I always loved about them, because I was like, you can't really get upset because they do it every album. So, like, if you just don't like this one, you just don't like this one. And there's really nothing I don't like about the Gazette. There's some stuff that, I may not gravitate towards, like, often, but I don't hate anything they've done. They always rip. Those fucking riffs are in your ear. They're great. It's just bangers everywhere.
Soon.
So, but
soon she'll just talk like how I talk.
I know. But a thing that I really, really like about this album, and a thing that they got highly criticized about, is the fact that this shows that they are comfortable where they're at.
Yeah.
They are, is this the 9th or 10th album? What the fuck? How long has it been?
Yeah.
They've been in the scene for almost 20 years, which is insanity for a Japanese rock band. There's a lot of kind of a revolving door system when it comes to the music industry in Japan or, South Korea with like K-pop and stuff. There's still a lot more longevity in Japan than necessarily South Korea, but still, this is their 10th album. Damn. It's so solid, and I understand where people are like, but it's not, because now you're running into the problem. You've got the people who are upset that they constantly reinvent the wheel, and now you've got the people that are upset that they didn't reinvent the wheel. And I'm like, y'all gotta fucking choose what you want out of these people. Like, they've been running so long, so steady, and I know that this is going to be a great live show. I think they did a couple live streams and I missed them, but it's a solid there's maybe a couple songs that I don't necessarily like care for that I wouldn't like I wouldn't listen to on repeat. It's been a long ass day. Yeah, I've done a lot of talking today. So, some people say that they don't like Blinding Hope. They think Blinding Hope is just kind of like cut and dry, like, oh, it's a J-Rock song, but I highly disagree. That's the song I want to be lowered in my casket.
Wow. Here, I'm not gonna say shit because when we get into my number one, I'm gonna probably be a little aggressive about it too. So
yeah, it's last song is really great. It's the last song on the album. The Pale is really great. Hold, I don't remember too much of this song. Every freaking time, I think it's one of the songs that like I don't hate, but I'm just kind of like, eh. Rollin' is really good. I do enjoy that song.
Move in or move out, hands up or hands down.
Yeah,
back up.
And from like my understanding of the lyrical content, you kind of we're just sad.
We're just sad. Why?
If you watch the music video for Blinding Hope, Lord.
Continuing the theme from our last top three.
Sad. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. Both of my number ones are sad.
Thousand Allen Dressin got depression. Well, when I listened to their like first single that came out or whatever, and like when we did the band review of them or whatever, I was like, I enjoyed them, but like I understand like we went from them, and they definitely seemed like the good like this is a good in general like J-Rock band where like we started was fucking Duran Gray. That can be in a fucking acquired taste. Let me tell you what. Fucking homeboys puking in the fucking obscure music videos. So like I feel like you saying that like has their spot and their place and everything, and they're comfortable and enjoy that, and like as long as you seem to genuinely enjoy it, and everyone else just being like nitpicky about it.
Well, I will say that there was something that was kind of discussed that I will kind of agree with, and I think that's part of why this album is getting a little bit more distaste. Is Rookie? He was the like main composing factor, like. I think he's on every single song as a composer, and there's not as much of the other members as there usually is. And so I think that's where this weird consistency happens in the album, because maybe he had this whole idea of having a consistency to it.
Yeah.
And I think that has probably bothered people a little bit. I know some people have also like said some stuff about the mix of some of the songs. Some people have been saying that the drums seem to drown out everything. They are very prevalent. I will give that, especially Blinding Hope as that being the single was the drums are prominent. Like it is, you hear that snare right in the beginning, just and you're like, damn, what the hell? But I don't think I'd ever ran into a moment where I felt like they were really drowning it out. I feel like I really would have noticed that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll listen on shitty headphones or something. I don't know.
Let's also compare. Well, let's see. Comparing with this year in terms of drums drowning out shit. Oh God, what the fuck was the name of that? Fucking our only Mojo.
Fucking. The
Mojo Mystery #1 that I will never do again.
God damn it! I still have it saved in my Metal Waifu playlist.
Yeah,
thingy.
it's fucking insane.
Yes, insane.
We listen to the original. We listen to the original fucking mix, and then we listen to the demo mix, and we're like, why does it sound better?
Yeah. Yep.
Fucking ridiculous.
Early recording, demo version. What the fuck the difference is between those two? I do not understand.
What's the difference?
I don't know. They're both early, but okay, whatever. I guess one's earlier than the demo.
They're still shit. It's all shit.
Oh, yeah, poor band.
Poor guys.
But yeah, I can kind of agree that yes, there is a little bit of a consistent thread running through these songs.
I don't know why that's a critique though. Like sometimes like consistency throughout the album's fine.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like it doesn't bother me as much as it seems to bother some other people. They're like, you need to bring the other members in. I'm like, well, maybe they like all talked, and Rookie was like, I have this idea. Let's try it out. And they're like, sure. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean,
like they've been. This is the 10th album. I'm sure they're kind of open to doing whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's a long ass run for any band. I mean, almost 20 years. Come on now. Like,
come on, man.
Yeah, I would be down if somebody was like, you know what, I want to compose everything. I'd be like, knock yourself out, homie. I'll just play what you want me to.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Just give me a beat.
yeah, and everything does have this very, like, somber tone. It's very, like, Ruki sings very, like, heartfelt, I will say. Like, there's a lot of passion that's coming from him. And then there's just these sections where shit just rips, and you're like, oh, shit, okay.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, so I still love this album. I will probably put the Gazette in my top 5 every year they release an album, let's be honest. I just fucking love this band.
That's fair.
And god damn it, I need them to do another tour. They need. I know the closest they'll probably come is Atlanta, and I'm going to drive my ass out there. I've already told my boss, so I said, I don't care what's going to happen at work. I'm going to be there.
Yep. The audio console's on fire. Not my problem.
Yep. Sorry, in Georgia. Can't do anything about it.
Shame, really. Shame. I'm going to go get myself some fucking lemon pepper wings and a varsity hot dog. Lemon peppers.
But yeah, so that was my number one.
Your number one's the Gazette.
Yeah. And Nick, what's your number one, Nick?
Okay.
I can agree with your number one, though, because it's a fucking...
Oh, holy fucking shit.
slaps.
Okay, all right. So, me trying to come up with a number one this year, right? Coming back to listening to a lot of albums, I think it closely almost became... Bring Me the Horizon almost became a number one, right?
Oh, damn.
Because I was thinking about it, I was just like, what else did I listen to this year that I was, like, genuinely surprised by, or at least fit into what I normally like to listen to, which I like heavy fucking shit, man. I like it when I feel like epic pummeling fucking just aggression just hitting my speakers is what gets me going, right? And what brings in my personal opinion of what I like, right? And so I was trying to think about it. I'm just like, Cannibal Corpse did that, but like it was good, but it wasn't doing that like in the full on frontal force. Trivium did that with In the Court of the Dragon for a little bit and everything like that, but like it was still in the groovier end, and it was good, it was enjoyable, but you know it was fine, and like it was good, and like Bring Me the Horizon was in that consideration because it was just out of left field, out of nowhere, surprise. It was good, and it was like cool to listen to, and I was like, it might take the spot. And it fits in the theme of like what kind of accidentally fell into the theme of like my top 3 being like the past, the present, and what I consider to be the future of what I see a lot of people getting the medal for. And it's the reason why I texted you and asked you why if we were able to do EPs on this fucking thing, because when I listen to this goddamn thing, I need you to understand, bro. I need you to fucking understand that this fucking thing is so fucking heavy. It's 22 minutes. I'm talking about Knocked Loose's in the a tear in the fabric of reality, tear in the fabric of life. Holy fucking shit.
Aggressive.
Man, this album fucking rips. This album, never had I seen an album looks at you and made you feel so fucking bad about getting in a car accident in your fucking life, man. Holy shit. This album goes in, and they do this thing they always do in Knocked Loose albums, right? Okay, Knocked Loose. If you don't know who the fuck they are, they're a bunch of guys from Kentucky. They are a hardcore band. They're in the same realm of like what Code Orange is doing right now and all that kind of shit. But for me, Knocked Loose always seemed like they're like just a little bit like a step behind Code Orange in terms of like a lot of like their stylists, their musically a little bit. Like I think like Code Orange, like especially after like Underneath and like Forever, a lot of their musicality was starting to like be like pushing forward and elevating, just a lot of production and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Knocked Loose was still sticking to that hardcore death metal adjacent vibe with them and everything like that. And like between like oh god, what was the Laughing Tracks and all that. They definitely seemed like they were just a little bit of like a step behind from Code Orange in terms of that. But this album, this EP, it's just a fucking EP, but it's like six songs, and it's a cohesive narrative cut through, and that's why like I couldn't consider Lorna Shore, because Lorna Shore felt like it was part of a bigger thing.
Yeah.
They were like, we're just doing 22 minutes. We're going from point A to point B. This is what we're saying, and you go from the opener that fucking like it starts off like you hear the car going, you hear them like switching up the radio, like it's a whole thing, and then you hear the fucking car crash, and it just fucking gets in that shit, and you're fucking what the fuck, like what the fuck, And then you get into God Knows. And in God Knows, it continues from the first track and it goes in that fucking... And he just fucking cuts through and it's just back to being fucking heavy, fucking aggressive, like this fucking awesome ass groove. Like fucking goes to that double time shit and it just pummels the shit out of you. And then it gives you a fucking... It goes for some goddamn reason because obviously it's supposed to emulate the car radio. But then it plays the fucking Beach Boys God Only Knows in this like weird, creepy, ominous point. Just the consistency. There's nothing wrong with consistency.
It's great.
It just fucking... Oh, fucking God, man. It was so good. I was like struggling to find a number one and then fucking knocked loose like Nick Petrosky. Here you fucking go, bro. You're gonna get some of the heaviest shit you heard all fucking year. No other band this year could get as fucking heavy as I could. Maybe Lorna Shore. Lorna Shore was close, but Lorna Shore had that like operatic like kind of shit and everything like that. And the thing is with like the artistry of the breakdown, right? Mm-hmm. The artistry of the breakdown. I am tired of a good chunk of these bands purely playing like some pretty like generic like death metal stuff and everything along those lines and only relying heavily on how fucking deep and fucking aggressive their breakdown is. It's because it get fucking, that's what all the fucking people go for, man. That's what that's what the kids are doing. It's like, yo, you like your breakdowns? Whereas like Knocked Loose, this whole fucking album, they're just fucking, the breakdowns are so they're supplemented into the heaviness of the entire thing. You're not having to feel like you're getting the heavy part when the breakdown happens. Mm-hmm. You're in the heavy part. When do we get to the ride? This is the ride, motherfucker. That's what you're fucking getting with this album, man. That's what you're fucking getting. And it's all like the whole thing is like built around this concept of like I'm pretty sure is what it is. Because like if you watch like the music video, they had a music video to supplement the whole thing. And it's just the album played over this like music video or whatever, but it's supposed to be like something to deal with like some semblance of car crash that happens, and clearly the person I think who's in the car crash who didn't die, like somebody died with them, and like they had some they're probably drinking or something like that, whatever. I'm pretty sure they're straight edge, but I was trying to look it up, but I couldn't really find anything about it. And them dealing with the grief and the loss and the like finally kind of accepting themselves and everything like that, but it's done in such like. Man, it just done in such a heavy point. At no point do they stop either. It keeps going. Fucking going. And it's just like, it's smart for them to just do it as 22 minutes and just keep it going through, because to tell this kind of narrative and tell this piece all together, if it was anything longer or if it was just part of some other album or whatever, I feel like it could get lost in the rest of the album. Yeah. Like it's the beauty of hardcore in terms of that genre and everything along those lines. It's why it's adjacent to punk, is like make your point and get the fuck out. Like just get your shit in, fucking get some rippers, get some pit starters, get some fucking wall of death breakers, and then get the fuck out. And you're just like, all right, we got you, bro. Here you go. Simple, clean. Fucking Kingdom Hearts. It's fucking, get the shit. You walk away. You don't hear me say, please. Bye. All right. So I'm fucking rips. Yeah, I was just like, I couldn't think of a fucking your neighbors would be like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no, bro.
I don't care. They're fucking loud all the time anyways, and they want to be on my side of the fucking balcony now.
I saw that shit. That shit was funny as fuck on your Instagram. Like,
don't live in a place that makes you share your balcony.
Wild.
I love this apartment, but what the fuck?
Fucking animals. Anyway.
If I can see you from inside my apartment, and I'm not at an angle that would allow me to do so, you're too fucking close on my side.
Oh god, the screaming's so good. The best part of this whole album was the fact that they got better. You can tell that the group got better, like music wise. You can tell that you can tell like the riffs, the way everything's constructed, everything's tighter. Mm-hmm. Like the a lot of Not Loose's stuff. The main issue is that like a lot of times they're very chuggy. They're not really doing crazy riffs. They're playing a lot with like effects and all that kind of stuff. This album was fucking leagues beyond heavier for 22 minutes. Leagues beyond heavier than fucking Gojira's album. This last album they came out with. Fucking whatever you call it. Whatever you fucking call that album. I'm sorry, guys. I love Gojira. Gojira's fucking great. But, like, the chant's not good. Other stuff's not good. There were some decent singles off the album, but that's why we didn't talk about it, because like it's not the fact that the Gojira album was like too bad. It just wasn't. It was a mid. It was about a mid. You know what I'm saying? It's a good 6.
I'm just instigating.
You're just instigating shit. You're like, ooh, if I can do Frenchie, I'm sorry.
Do you hear what he's saying? Oh my fucking god!
They were literally on tour with not Gojira. No, Gojira. Knocked Loose is like opening for Gojira, so I can't even say shit.
I know.
I wanted to go to that show, but I wasn't able to.
I was.
It was last minute. But man, just like I remember like listening for the first time. I'm just like, is this fucking good? Is this really good? I'm gonna give it one more listen. I'm gonna give it another. I've had this motherfucker on repeat multiple times. It's what I wanted this year, right? Like it fits into like our anime stuff. You have your things that you like and you look for and you want, you need. I have the things that I gravitate towards, that I want, that I fucking need, bro. Fucking
put it in my veins.
Put it in, just fucking feed it to me right now. Just put it in the tube. Put it in the tube. Feed it to me like nutrient-rich sludge. I will accept it.
Oh my god.
Fuck. God, this album's so good. Just but like it. In the comparison, they definitely took a little bit from Gojira in terms of a lot of their riff ideas and taking a lot of the effects stuff they've done before in their previous albums and introducing that, but then putting it whoever's what was the fucking, it was like Will Putney was like on production or whatever, or like the producer or something like that or whatever. He sounded familiar. I wasn't too sure, but his name is yeah, look him up. His name was mentioned, so I was just like, I'm assuming that's somebody important. But fuck, man, fucking just so heavy. It was so good. It was just like it was and that was like the thing about like all these albums coming out around the same time in October or whatever. It's just like people are going around and be like, hey, did you listen? Have you heard the Knocked Loose album? TikTok was actually fucking saying that shit. TikTok was like, you listen to the Knocked Loose album? You listen to Knocked Loose EP? Like, you listen to new stuff? And I'm like, I guess I give it a listen. I'm like, holy fucking shit. Yeah, it was like eye opening, and it was good, nice to actually get something this year that I was like, and again, like Between the Buried and Me was in consideration for first, but because like that Knocked Loose shit was just in my wheelhouse, and at no point did I feel like it wasn't. At no point did I have a moment in this album where I was like, there was a moment where it kind of lagged, or there's a moment it was a little bit like this or whatever. This album didn't have that for me. This EP didn't have that for me. It didn't have a moment where I was just like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it was okay. I was like, no, this entire thing was just a fucking cohesive, just pummeler of an album, pummeler of an EP, pummeler of just a shitty fucking year we've had, man. Just fucking, you want to end off the year in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it is Will Putney, by the way.
Okay. In any way, shape,
or to find.
Yeah. In any way, shape, or form, you want to end off the year in a way that it's fucking, or just the constant reminder or feeling of just everything that's happened between pandemics and dealing with shitty people and fucking all that kind of stuff and everything along those lines. You want a way that
there's the vocalist he put a whole theme.
Genius.
Like, well, yeah, his press release talking about the theme is.
Oh, okay.
So he actually detailed what the whole thing was about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't read it.
It's a story about extreme grief and the levels a person is willing to go through to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then there's a shit ton more to that, but
yeah. It's that. Well, in the music video, it does address that and bring it up.
Yeah.
Which it's a little weird though, because like at one point during the album, it sounds like whoever it is that's dealing with it is digging into something, and part of me thought initially we're still dealing with the accident, and the person was like burying the person. Like trying to hide the body, or like trying to hide the body or something like that. And I'm like, whoa, fucking shit. But then like in the music video, it looks like he's trying to like the subject. It's like the music video is a little weird because the music video is very Tool-esque, where it's like
I haven't watched it yet.
It's a lot of like it reminds me a lot of Parabola. Where it's like it's dealing with like the not like the initial scene where it's all the fat dudes fucking going on around, going around the table fucking just puking out fucking licorice. It's more like the part with the guy who's like has like the little metal dude that walks around and everything like that. A little more along those lines, but it opens with the car accident, and then it goes through a bunch of other shit where it looks like the person's being judged by something, and then when they're digging, it looks like they're digging up where the person that died in the car accident was buried, and there's a bunch of other shit. Then it's interesting because it contextualizes a lot of the ideas they had or whatever, and it's done a little artsy fartsy whatever, but like it adds to it because it gives you a general idea of what they're going for the album itself.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's a horror movie if you fucking if you're scared of personal acceptance, like.
Aren't most people though? Let's be honest.
Let's be real. Let's be introspective for a second. You have problems with personal acceptance? Can you accept the shit you've done to yourself? Oh fuck.
Accountability. What's that?
Oh God. 2021. That's yeah, man. It was yeah, I think it was a very cathartic end to my year. It was just like yeah, this is my number one because it's just hitting all the right notes and fucking it was fuck it ripped, man. Fuck it ripped. Just
sick.
It's real fucking sick, bro. Just fucking pummel the shit out. Yeah, you're my number one, Knock Loose. You fucking you killed me. You fucking killed me, man. Do it again. If you fucking have an album that is as just does that shit one more time, I swear to God. I'll put you on number one again. It was that fucking good, man. It was that fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. We did a year of this shit.
Yeah.
Can you
fucking crazy.
Can you fucking believe it?
No.
Yeah. It's wild because like when we started this whole thing or whatever, I was just kind of like, I think this is my kind of like my goal was just like if we can do a year of this and we can do a year of like committing like coming up, recording, sitting down, choosing the subjects, all that kind of stuff, and like committing to it and actually like sticking with it and being consistent with it or whatever, I would be happy. And I don't, and again, I don't care about like the whole like whole idea of like, oh, we gotta get subscribers, we gotta get clout, we gotta do all that kind of shit. I'm just like, no, I just wanted to like, I was just us. It was
and shoot the shit.
Yeah, it was us. It was us putting something out there that we were happy about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just this cool idea of like, I get it. Fucking, you're making a podcast. Yeah, it's making a fucking podcast. But like, the fact that we can say that it's our podcast and the fact that we say that we can put this out here and like there's people that will listen to us and there's people that actually enjoy what we talk about. And
shocking. Hello. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you for dealing with us.
Thank you. Hopefully we're entertaining.
I know.
But even that, it was just like, it was for me, it was awesome. I don't know. It was cool to say that I actually like, I created something or we created something or whatever, like just being able to say like, hey, I put something out there in the world that we worked on or whatever, even though fucking there's definitely absolute points where I feel like shit where I'm just like, man, Alexis is doing all the audio stuff and everything like that. I'm really just here like I made the thumbnails. There you go. There you go. I made the thumbnail. Here's the thing. I'm gonna try.
I made him write all the descriptions because I got tired of writing them.
Yeah. I have fun writing them every once in a while. Like sometimes I get creative and.
Yeah, I've noticed. I'm like, good God, what the hell?
The Kijo one's my favorite.
Oh, it's wild.
My buddy Pierce is like, sir, are your pants on fire? I'm like, scorching. They're seared.
Jesus Christ. It's been a hell of a year.
It's been a hell of a year.
Man.
And for any of y'all who have been sticking with it and everything like that with us, we appreciate it 100%. Yeah. We're glad you guys have I know a few people that have enjoyed watching our stuff and enjoy the ride and everything.
Yeah, and it's cool that there's like people who actually know us in real life that fucking watch it and like actually talk to us about our podcast. I'm like, this is wild.
I have a buddy of mine who apparently when he does like his hobby shit or whatever, he like when we put an episode, he puts us on because he's just like, oh yeah, he like he mostly is like, bro. He's like, I don't necessarily understand some of the stuff you guys are talking about, but man, Nick, when you break down laughing and shit, it is highly entertaining. I'm like, I appreciate that. Yeah. But yeah.
We need to do just like a fuck all episode of like just some dumb shit.
Like just
or like a game or something. We just need to do something stupid.
Yeah, we had some. I mean, we had some ideas for doing some stupid shit.
Well, yes.
But yeah.
Next month.
Next month. So next month.
It's an interesting month.
It's gonna be an interesting month.
I can't wait to see how we manage to achieve these fucking ideas we have. I really hope we are able to execute it.
We're not having a metal episode. I'm just letting you know that.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know that we're not having a metal episode.
Because it's Holiday Matsuri.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's all they need to know.
We don't even know what the fuck we're doing, let's be honest. We have a vague idea.
It's going to be, I think, so here's my fear with this thing. It's either going, I think this is going to be, if we can pull this off, I think it's going to be tiring to do.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the moment, but in the post process. Yeah. Because I want to actually be someone involved in that when we do it, because I think that's going to require both of our mental fortitudes. But fuck, if we can get the Christ air off the fucking gymnasium. If we can get the spinning Christ air off the gymnasium and land this shit, oh my god, I'm really excited for what we got in store for you. But we will have an anime episode.
Yeah,
it's technically Christmas themed.
It's fucking what a choice, man.
It's gonna be wild.
I have to get back up because I already forgot what it.
It's
Gundam.
It's Gundam Wing.
Fucking Gundam.
It's the Gundam movie because apparently it's Christmas themed.
We were looking up Christmas themed fucking animes, and that came up, and Nick was like, "Yes," and I'm like,
Yes.
"All right, I'm just falling in line."
We said Gunpla. We're doing some fucking Gunpla.
I mean, hey, at least it's just it's a fucking movie, though.
It's a movie. That's it.
That's long.
A movie? Long?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you were to add up at like a 12 episodes at like 23 minutes each, compare it to the length of that movie, I think it's about the same.
It's not a fucking 12-hour movie.
No, not 12. Well, never mind.
Jesus, girl, it's like like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Is it? How long is it?
I don't fucking know. It's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. We're not watching a series.
I know. Wait, where is it?
The most expensive movies we ended up watching on this podcast was the Berserk series, the Golden Arc trilogy.
That's true.
Yeah.
What the hell is the name of that movie?
It's like Gundam Wing Waltz or something. I think
Is
it's
it Waltz?
I think it's something in Waltz.
No, I didn't know if it was or not. Endless Waltz.
Endless Waltz. I think that's what it is.
Here it is. Oh, it's only 90 minutes and an hour and a half.
Perfect.
Wait, what?
Huh? Why are we having questions?
This says 3 episodes. This is 3 episodes, 90 minutes. I'm confused.
Are they 3 90-minute episodes, or
Just
are they
smashed together into one thing? I don't know. I'm confused.
That might be what it is.
Aside from being a continuation of the Gundam Wing TV series, what the fuck? Now I don't remember what the fuck we looked at.
So I thought it was a movie because we were looking.
It was
through,
a movie.
Yeah, we were looking through Crunchyroll.
Yeah. The hell? Great. Now we don't even know.
We don't know what we're watching. 1 year. We're doing this for a year.
Still
the whole
can't
year.
fucking do it right.
Still doing it for a year. We still don't know what we're doing. I think that was kind of evident by watching you all watching our episodes. I think it's pretty evident that we really don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Much like most of modern America, the bare minimum. The bare minimum. Bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Was it in here?
Forget about your worries and your. I'm trying to keep the American.
Copyright.
Oh shit! It's the cops!
Run!
The cop.
We'll figure it out.
Got a taser.
We'll remember what the fuck we're doing
Yeah.
eventually.
We'll figure it out. We'll watch it. We got some things we want to do. So.
Yeah. I got so much to do before Hall Met. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I'm going on a trip before Hall Met. I'm gonna be so fucking tired.
Most of the whole match just gonna be me carrying her bitch ass. Get me to the game room. I need to go to this panel on how to cross stitch knee pads.
This is my first time at Hall, Matt. I'm really excited.
Oh, it's my second time.
I'm very excited. And this is their anniversary year, which was supposed to be last year. Obviously, that didn't happen, so they're doing it this year. It's like HHN again. 10-year anniversary.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting time. It'll be
I
my
feel
second
like
time.
there's going to be a lot of fucking people there.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be nuts. So I was kind of worried the tickets were going to be sold out, but I still got one. So
No, I don't think never. Yeah, you're still decent on that one. Yeah, I am hyped. I'm hyped. Ready.
And the fact that we have a hotel room, fuck yeah. So nice. That's like the nicest part. I'm like,
Oh
you
my
mean I
God.
don't have to go far?
Bro,
Thank
it's
God.
gonna be me.
In Orlando, like I don't have to go far.
Oh my God. The only thing we might be having to go for is maybe food, but we can just like Uber somewhere, or maybe just have shit Ubered to us or whatever, stuff like that. At some point, I do want to do some ramen. I feel like I had to do some ramen at some point. Hit up the Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan. If Mike Tyson went to Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan.
You know, Super Saiyan. That's some ramen. Some miso soup.
But
Okay. There it is.
Man.
Happy 1 year.
yeah, happy 1 year.
Happy 1 year. Appreciate you all. We made it.
Thanks.
We did it. We did it. Hopefully we can get another year. Maybe. Possibly. if not, we tried.
If not, just know we made it to 1.
But we made it to it again, like I said in the fucking anime episode. More committed than some of y'all.
Don't tell us we're wrong.
We know you be.
I see those Facebook statuses constantly change.
I've seen your pregnancy photos.
Oh,
fucking no. Don't mind me. I'm being
toasty.
Babies?
Burn. A burn.
Oh, burn. Oh,
Like
okay.
burn, man.
I got you.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking
toasty.
about burning babies. I'm like,
Ay, Jesus.
Jesus.
I'm a dark bitch, but I don't think I'm that dark.
You got some ton. Never mind. I was gonna say dark bitch. I was like,
I'm about to say, I got a trip to a very tropical place coming soon.
a tropical place.
Yeah.
With the palm tree sway.
Yeah, we may be going to Fiji.
Fiji? The fuck?
Yeah.
Minute.
Happy birthday, I go to Fiji.
Fiji. All right. Jeebus. All right. We got y'all done here with our shit. Let's go bounce out. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all.
you.
Appreciate it. Catch y'all later.
You the bomb.
Yep. Catch you next month.
Woo!
Be safe out there. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Eat your turkey and your pie. Turkey pie. Turkey hash. Turkey sandwiches.